So the chords for this little suspension resolution riff are these: G major, root position in the right hand, and a root in the left. Root third fifth. One key to the right gives us A minor, root third fifth, root in the left, and a D chord. A D chord looks like that, but because we want a closest inversion, we're going to take the root up to the top, first inversion, and play the D chord there, and back to G. And that is the chord sequence: G, root position in the right hand, A minor, root position in the right hand, D, first inversion in the right hand, back to G major, root position. Now, suspension resolution is a great way to get more out of any chords you know. Here's how it works. Here's our G root position chord. With suspension resolution, you take any of these chord tones and you drag them up one scale tone. That's called the suspension. Let's use the third. It's going to be dragged up, and we play the fourth instead. And then we let it fall back or resolve back to where it was, the third. You recognise the sound. And these suspension resolution pairs are indicated by the numbers of the chord tones. So this would be a sus res, suspension resolution 4-3, 4-3, suspended, G sus 4, resolved. But in our riff, we're not going to use the third, not in the G chord anyway. We're going to use the root, or 1, and 1 is going to get dragged up to 2, suspended to 2, and then resolved. Exactly the same thing in the A minor sus res 2-1. Now then, if we were doing exactly the same thing in D, we'd be down here. Of course, that's sounding too muddy, isn't it? And we're also missing out on something rather nice. We're coming from A minor, and you can hear a falling tune here. It wants to go to there, doesn't it? So, in the D major, we're going to use a 4-3 suspension. 4, 4 down to 3. But remember that this chord is in first inversion. So our 4-3 suspension in D, suspension resolution now looks like that. 4, revolving back down to 3. You have to use some fancy fingering to get it smooth, like that. 1, 3, 5, and 2 over onto the F sharp. Back to G, 2-1. And that's how you practice it, like this. Starting again, G, sus res 2-1. A minor, the same thing. 4-3 in D, first inversion, the fancy fingering, back to G. The next element of our riff is the bass notes. Now when you're playing a chord in the right hand, there's our G chord, your first choice for a bass note is the root, always. Your second choice for a bass note is the fifth. Root, third, fifth, there it is, it's note D. Now we could have the fifth above the G or below. Root, fifth, root, fifth. Exactly the same for the A minor chord. There's the A minor chord, here's the root in the bass, here's the fifth above the root, and the fifth below the root. Now for the D, we'll do something a little different, because we don't really want to go down here, like we didn't want to go down there for the chord. We wanted the closest inversion, D chord. Same with the bass. So we'll have a root and a root and a fifth in the middle. So the bass notes are in G, root, fifth, fifth, root. In A minor, root, fifth, fifth, root. And in D, the fifth, the root, root, fifth. Back to G. Root, fifth, root, fifth, fifth, root. Sorry. Now the last element of the riff you're going to bring in is the syncopation, playing off the beat, mainly in the left hand, but not exclusively. You remember our riff was going to be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to dress it up with the fifth on 4 and. Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. Oh, right hand's getting in on the act. Do you hear that? 1, 2 and 3, 4 at the end. Why not? Not that hard. Try it. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. That's nice. But settle for that for a day, a week, however long it takes. The next thing that's likely to happen is we'll have the other fifth in the bass. Root fifth, that fifth as well as that fifth. And that'll come on 1, 2, 3. Count 3. But I can tell you it's going to want to pull forward as well. It's 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. After that, sky's the limit. As much as occurs to you as you like the sound of. 1, 2 and 3, 4. That's it for now. Thanks very much for listening. This is Bob Chuckle, aka Mr. Musicarter. Please come back for more. Visit the website. It's www.musicarter.com. And of course, Mr. Musicarter YouTube that you're watching now. Please subscribe to the site. Please get the feed from the website and sign up for the newsletter so you know what's coming up. Thanks very much. Bye for now.